the Volkswagen Jetta. It's been for a long time one of the best compact sedans in the segment. And for 2020 it sees a couple of changes here and there, and we're going to take a look at all of those changes, plus go over all of the features that the Jetta has to offer. Now, I am Tyler behind the camera here from N&T Auto Reviews, giving you guys yet another in-depth walk around video here. And we're taking a look at this Jetta in the mid-trim level SE with the cold weather package. So it's got a couple of options added onto it, but let's go ahead into it and take a look at this car. Okay, so let's first look at the window sticker, where we have a couple of useful informations here. We have the fuel economy information. Down below we have crash ratings and also your parts content. Then we also get to our standard features list, which it is pretty long since the Jetta comes loaded up pretty good with a decent amount of features as standard. So of course you could pause the video to get more information as I scroll down. And we also have warranty information, roadside assistance, and maintenance plans up there. And then we also have our options list, where I'd like to stop right here and point out a couple of them. We have the cold weather package, which comes with remote start, which is awesome. We also have heated rear seats, heated front wiper area to heat the wipers when it's cold out, as well as the heated steering wheel and heated washer nozzles, as well as a washer fluid indicator. So if you get low on washer fluid, it'll just beep at you and tell you you're a little bit low. You don't want to run out on the cold winter days or when your windshield's dirty or anything like that. You also have the monster mats, which is the all-weather floor mats with the trunk mat. And we also have the prepaid scheduled maintenance for 30,000 miles. And then lastly, we have the first aid kit and roadside assistance kits. If we take a look down here, we have a pretty modest $920 destination fee with a total vehicle price of $24,584, which to me, I think is a pretty darn good value for what you get in this car. Now, taking a walk to the side of the Jetta, you can see that it has remained pretty much the same as far as the design goes, since the car just got totally redesigned in 2019. However, there are a few subtle differences in the design as well as features we will highlight in the video, but you can definitely see these very strong shadow lines that go from all the way the fender to all the way to the quarter, and then also some down here as well. Makes it a very attractive and sharp looking car. The wheelbase stands at 105.8 inches, and we're working with the pure white paint color, and it is one of 7 color choices on the SE. And finally, taking a walk around to the rear of the vehicle, we can discuss our drivetrains and the fact that it is exclusive to front-wheel drive. Okay, so we can start off the details of the exterior on the front of the Jetta. You have a very nice sort of short and sleek look to the front end. We can start with the headlamps, which come fully LED as standard. We have the reflector LED bulbs in this model. The upper trims will get projector LEDs. The only thing that's not LED up front is the turn signals. You have, again, the high and low beams LED, as well as the daytime running lights. Down below we have some flat black trim that goes all the way across. And up here we have this nice long and flat grille here with some chrome. Really spices up the front end. And then we also have the Volkswagen emblem with all of the safety sensors in the center. Now, going along with the sharp creases on the sides of the doors and the fenders and whatnot, we also see those on the hood, which gives it a very nice appearance. Down here we have these very attractive machine face and black inserted 16-inch alloy wheels. And they are wrapped around 205/60 size tires. You also have ventilated disc brakes up front, solid out in the rear. And you also have these nice lug nut caps. You can see up top we have the panoramic sunroof, also blacked out window surrounds. You can really see the nice shadow lines going down the side in the sunlight. And on our mirrors we have the blind spot warning, as well as the smart key entry on both the front door handles. So if you see this little pattern right here on the door, you just press that when you have the key in your pocket. It'll lock the vehicle. Then you just put your hand behind the handle and it'll unlock the doors. We have the shark fin antenna up top towards the rear glass. And out back is where we see one of these subtle styling changes, and that has to do with the rear tail lamps. As you can see, the bottom portion is all red, as opposed to on the 2019s, like my car, it is a yellow turn signal. So I'll show you a picture here of the 2019's light. And now you see that the 2020 is completely red down there, which gives it a pretty cool matching appearance. As far as badging back here, it's pretty minimal. We just have the Jetta and the Volkswagen emblem. And right below the Volkswagen emblem, we have a trunk release and the reversing camera. I have a little bit of a nice chrome accent down below and a hidden exhaust tip. Okay, so on the SE, you're going to get the leatherette seats, and you can choose between 3 different color options, which is pretty nice. You can choose this Titan Black, which we have here. You can also choose between more of a beige color and also a gray. As far as buttons and functionalities we go, we have the lock, unlock, the door handle, some nice metal look trim. We have soft touch leatherette here and also on your armrest, as well as soft touch plastic up here, and a more of a harder touch surface down here. We have window locks, regular window controls, and your heated and adjustable mirrors right there, as well as a trunk release. Now the basic audio system on the Jetta, which we have here, comes with 4 speakers, which is pretty standard for this segment. But you can also upgrade to a Beats audio system in the upper trim levels. You also have a nice, very large storage pocket with a large bottle holder and some more storage there. As far as the seats go, they are pretty nice. You have adjustable headrests. You see you have these little holes in the seats to let them breathe so they don't get so hot in the summer and also so cold in the winter. You have contrast stitching on the sides of the seat as well, and it's also a manual adjusted seat, so you have a height adjustment here, the backrest adjustment here, and as well as the sliding back and forth adjustment with that lever right there. On the left of the dash, you can see you have an air vent, some more little trim, and also your headlight controls. You have your hood release over here and your pedals over there. And you can also see the adjustment for the tilt telescoping steering wheel. Okay, so here's the key for the Jetta. It's pretty nice, slim key. You have the panic alarm at the side of the key. You also have their lock, unlock, trunk release, and the remote start right there. You also have a physical key where you could slide this little portion of the key out, and the physical key will come out. But as in traditional standard, you have push button start. Put your foot on the brake, and the turbocharged 1.4 will come to life. So we can start off the interior. What's right in front of us? We have the nice leather wrapped in flat bottom steering wheel. We have the nice gloss black as well as the satin silver accents with the Volkswagen emblem right on the airbag cover. Over here we have our controls for cruise control as well as your safety systems. You could turn them on and off there. If you press that button, it'll show up in the center screen so you can see what you have for safety systems, and you can turn them off as you need them. And you also have your volume control. Over here you have the rest of your media controls such as voice commands as well as your skipping between tracks. Then we also have your left and right buttons, OK, and up and down for the screen in the center. As far as our physical gauges, we have 4 of them. We have the rev counter, the temperature gauge, the speedometer, as well as the fuel gauge. And again, by using these buttons here on the steering wheel, we can control the center screen. Right now it's just kind of showing you a digital speedometer with your mileage, exterior temperature, time, what gear you're in, and some trip information. If we press down, we can get more driving data, so average speed, distance on your trip, as well as time, fuel range, instant economy, average fuel economy, various temperatures and speed warnings. You can also scroll over to see your assist systems again, what's going on with your audio, your telephone, and your vehicle status. That really has to do with the stop-start system, and it'll tell you if it's available at that certain time or not. Taking a look up here, we have a very nice dashboard. It is all soft to the touch, and we have this sort of mimicked stitching up there. I really do like the quality of the dashboard. It looks very nice. Down here we have the standard 6.5-inch screen. You can also upgrade to a little bit of a larger and more functionality screen. Right now we just have a digital clock here, and we could turn the radio on by just pressing the on button there. Right here we just kind of have our radio screen where we have our presets displayed up there. We can also bring up our station list and change our source. Then we also have a manual tuning over here. We go into our media screen. That's where we can choose to hook up a phone via the USB or the Bluetooth. We also have the phone screen there. Again, we have a menu screen, which is kind of like your home screen. It has all the whole jumblation of all of your different apps. You could also get into your climate control and control that through the screen if you'd like to, which is really pretty cool. Activate your heated steering wheel and whatnot. We have our App Connect, which has to do with your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. And we also have all of our different settings, which I'll scroll through them quick. We have our app button over here, which brings you to your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, and then a quick voice button and a physical tune knob. You can also swipe from the top to get more information, such as your gauge lighting, your sound settings, and your Bluetooth and audio controls. Pretty neat screen there. Definitely a bunch of information you can get into and really customize it the way you like. Down here we have a couple of air vents with your airbag indicator and your hazards. And that reminds me, I forgot to show you the stalks behind the steering wheel, which house your high beams as well as your turn signals. And over here your wipers. But back down to here we have our climate control settings. We have our temperatures. It is a dual zone climate control. We have our temperatures on either side and the fan speed in the middle. Defrosters on the left, AC settings on the right, off, sync, and then we can also bring it up on the menu system right there. and it also is an automatic climate control. We have all of our where you want the air to blow, plus our recirculating, as well as our heated seat controllers and the heated steering wheel controllers. So if you're wondering, there's only one button for both the heated steering wheel and heated seat. Once you press the button, it'll bring up your seat as well as your heated steering wheel control. Down here we have a little storage pad, and one more addition to the 2020 lineup that the 2019 didn't have is the addition of wireless charging. Now, this being an SE, it doesn't have it, but in the upper trim levels you will get it. And also, in place of one single traditional USB, you have two USB-C inlets. Again, that's new for 2020. So all Jettas, not including the GLI, will get this 8-speed automatic transmission, typical torque converter system, and we also do have a pretty nice backup camera. We have neutral drive and then also a manual mode if you'd like. And if you're ready in drive, you just bump the shifter down, it'll bring you into a quick sport mode. As far as the buttons go, down here we have the electronic parking brake. Yellow light means it's activated. To deactivate, put your foot on the brake, press down. To activate, foot on the brake and pick up. Down here we have a couple of controls to shut off your auto start stop and also to activate in economy mode. You also have a 12-volt power outlet if you need it. Taking a look down here, we have a couple of nice cup holders. This is also a pretty good place to store your key since it fits right in there. And then one of the more impressive parts of the Jetta is the fact that it has a really big center storage. First of all, it's pretty nicely padded with some stitching. If you open it up, it is just an absolutely massive storage tray in there. You also have this felt lining at the bottom too, which helps. Taking a look up here, you have the manually dimming day and night mode mirror. Of course, the automatic dimming with the garage door home links mirror is an option. Taking a look up here, we have some lighting controls, sunroof controls, as well as just turning on your rear lights. Pretty large storage glass container. We have some information and emergency and service controls up there. We also have this very nice large sunroof, so it's a little bit larger than your normal sunroof would be. And you have a shade that doesn't block 100% of light, but does a pretty good job. And the thing that I've noticed with having this fabric shade here is if it's really sunny out, really hot, but you still want the wind in your hair and everything, you can actually close the shade, block out the light, but you still get the nice wind in. So you can open the shade and you see it's a very large, almost panoramic sunroof. They actually do call it a panoramic sunroof, and the controller for that is right here. So if you want to vent it up, you just press the button inwards like that, and if you want to slide it all the way back, you just press the button back. We have a wind buffer over there, and it opens pretty much the whole roof. You have some nice visors up here with a light and a mirror, as well as a card holder, and they also do extend out to here, and you can also slide them back and forth like so to get rid of all the sunlight on the side. You also do have some grab handles for all four of the passengers in the car. Now at this point in the video, you've gotten a pretty good outlook of the front cabin. I actually could show you the glove box from up here. Has a pretty good amount of storage in there, actually a really good amount of storage. Soft plastic on the inside, plenty of room for at least your owner's manuals and some more stuff that you guys could clutter up. You have the nice trim there, and also a manually adjusting seat on the passenger side. But at this point of the video, I'm going to adjust the driver's seat to a comfortable seating position for myself. I am 5'10", and we'll get in the back and see how roomy it is back there. And actually, quite frankly, it's very roomy, very, very roomy in the back seats. Very nice solid sound from that German metal on the doors. Back here is in traditional compact cars. They do skimp out a little bit on the material, so this is hard touch plastic as well as this, as opposed to up front being at the soft touch. However, where your arm's going to rest is nice and soft. You do have a speaker back here as well as your door handle and the window control. So, hopping in back here, you can see that there is an absolute amazing amount of room back here that they have squeezed into a small Jetta. Now, I have at least 3-4 inches of legroom sitting back here. And that's one thing that really attracted me to the Jetta, because it's just grown so much since the previous generation. This is truly a really good amount of room back here, almost a mid-size sedan room back here. Also, adding to that mid-size sedan vibe, you have the 3-stage heated seats back here, which is very nice to see. You have quite a large drivetrain hump, so if you carry 3 people around, they're going to have to straddle that. The sunroof is nice and large, so it continues nicely back here. You also have some tap lights, as well as grab handles and a coat hook. And also a nice soft armrest with some cup holders. That pretty much does it for the interior on the 2020 Jetta. Let's go ahead and see how much room we have in the trunk. Okay, so there are actually 3 different ways you can open the trunk on the Jetta. You saw the button on the door as well as the button underneath the Volkswagen emblem on the back. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to use the button on the key fob. Just hold it down and the trunk will pop right open for you. Now, I do apologize, we're right in the middle of the pollen season, so there's pollen kind of all over this car, and it's kind of unavoidable. I just actually had it washed yesterday before filming it, and it's already full of pollen, which is going to be great for my allergies. However, take a look at this size of the trunk in this Jetta. Very good amount of space, nice quality to it too. There's carpeting all over the place. There's not a whole lot of ugly stuff to look at the top of the trunk. You do have a light and also these pull tabs that will fold down the 60-40 split seats. You have your all-weather monster mats and the all-weather cargo mat. We have the cargo management system, which is pretty much blocks that you can set up, and they're Velcro at the bottom. So you can pretty much make walls around your cargo so it doesn't slide around. You have the roadside assistance kit, first aid kit, as well as your wheel locks kit. So if we lift up the cargo mat, you have your regular carpeting. And if we lift up your regular carpeting, you can see we have our spare tire and tools under there. To close the trunk, you have handles on either side, so right here and right here. So the fuel door to the 13.2 gallon fuel tank is on the passenger side, and once you open it up, you can see that you have the typical cap and tether, and you also have this little hole here where you could put the hang the cap so it doesn't scratch your paint. You can see that you can use a regular octane fuel on this car, and according to the EPA, you should be seeing right around 30 miles to the gallon in the city and 40 on the highway, which is pretty darn good. So to wrap up the 2020 Jetta, It's a very nice car, and it definitely deserves your attention if you're looking for a car in this segment. And I hope you stay with us here at NNT Auto Reviews for future in-depth walk-around videos.